What's going on, everybody? Welcome to BDRock News, a place where we recap the day's top stories. Let's get into it. Probably most important of all that happened over the weekend is that Trump diverted a U.S. carrier strike group and sent it off its course from Australia to the Korean coast, presumably in response to missile testing that North Korea has been doing, and in response to that, North Korea has been boosting its defenses. And you could go either way on this one. You could be in support of it, you could be against it. Supporting it, someone coming from the military, a military family, military myself, I'm not exactly opposed to it, but the problem I see arising is that I think Kim Jong-un, or Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, that he might be crazy enough to do something. Now, of course, I think that, strategically, of course, nothing like, World War II, or killing millions of civilians or hundreds of thousands of civilians. But strategically, I think we would wipe them off the face of the earth. But it's hard to disagree with Trump sending the carrier group over there, only because I do believe that pure evil should be eradicated from this earth. There's no place for pure, unadulterated evil. So in that respect, I agree with it. The problem is that it could provoke him to do something. Now, it may not be against the U.S., but it'll be against somebody if he does something. So this will be a story that I'll be closely monitoring to see how it develops, and I will keep you guys updated as bestly as I can. On a different note, I know this story is a couple days old, but it's definitely still fresh in people's minds, especially for people like myself who have small YouTube channels and we're trying to grow. And it is the story about YouTube blocking ad revenue from anybody who has less than 10,000 views. Now, that's not 10,000 views for a single video. That's not 10,000 views in a day or a week or a year. That's 10,000 views lifetime of the channel. The entire channel, over the course of all your videos, 10,000 views. Now, some people are up in arms about it because, hey, how am I supposed to make money, if you're not letting me collect revenue? Well, the argument for that would be that, let's just say you have 10,000 views. What's your payout going to be? $20? Come on. So, in that respect, whatever. I don't really have a for or against comment on that as far as the money goes, because it's 10,000 views is going to get you $20. It's nothing. Or I do actually agree with the story is one of the reasons that they are not giving ad revenue for anybody under 10,000 views is because there are a lot of channels out there that just steal other people's content and repost it on their channel. Now, the problem with that is, if you're stealing other people's content, successful content, mind you, they probably already have over 10,000 views anyways. The reason I say that is because their process for this whole 10,000 view thing is that once you reach 10,000 views, then your YouTube channel will go up for review, and they will review whether your channel is basically fake. I mean, it's basically what they're saying. It gives them the opportunity to review it whether it's fake or not. So, in that respect, I agree with it. The problem is that most of these channels that are fake already have more than 10,000 views, so it's not going to affect them anyways. But we'll see how that goes. So, I'll keep you guys updated on that. On another note, there was a story that I saw on 60 Minutes where it was talking about brain hacking. And basically what it's talking about is that, a technology insider came out and basically spilled the beans about the fact that these technology companies, Apple and Google and all those people, the people that create the technology, they're basically trying to brainwash everybody. It says brain hacking. They're brainwashing you. They're trying to brainwash you. So he says. We'll see. But they have these algorithms that trigger certain things in your mind, supposedly, that make you addicted to your phone. And, you hear people say, oh, it's not about the technology, it's about you having the willpower to put it down. Well, the problem is, with an addiction, there is no putting the phone down. There is no putting your addiction down. That's the whole point of an addiction. So, I think it was a really good piece. I'll link it below. You should watch it if you're interested. And I completely agree with it. It's... maybe when I was younger, maybe 10 years ago, I was constantly on my phone. Now, I look at my phone, but I'm not really on my phone. I go hours without looking at my phone, and I don't even think about it, because I'm busy doing something else, And so, I kind of agree, I kind of believe it, and I agree with it, that it's definitely a problem. And, my son's 11 years old, who does not own a cell phone, by the way. Now, yeah, he does. He has a computer and an iPad and stuff like that, but he doesn't have a cell phone that he's carrying around with him 24/7. And so I don't really deal with that aspect so much, with younger generations. But there's no need for him to have one, anyways. But I see kids his age. He's 11. I see kids his age with phones all the time, and the story went on to talk about, these impatient kids, these kids with anxiety, stress issues, depression issues, and to be honest with you, I think it absolutely has to do with this whole, brain hacking, brainwashing thing that he was talking about. And I think it's a serious issue, and the problem is I think it's only going to get worse, because the business isn't going to change. They're going to change oh yeah, absolutely. We did drop. We need to change our business plan and get it so people put the phone down. Well, no, because that's how they make money. So they're not going to do that. So the only way now, my generation, I'm 32, so my generation, I wasn't a baby when the first cell phones came out. Now, I knew what was going on, so I have a small portion of my life where I lived without cell phones and all this technology. And so I think for my generation, we're able to separate ourselves from our phones if we need to. But anything after us they're screwed, And I think it's kind of on our generation and generations of, higher up than us, that it's kind of on us to kind of force the younger generations to put it down. You start them early, because the longer you let them go with having their face in this technology over just day in and day out, the harder their life's going to be, I think, in the future. So, well, on a lighter note, this weekend, I don't know if anybody even cares about, I do, obviously, but because I'm talking about it, but I don't know if anyone cares about golf or not, but one of the biggest, if not the biggest, golf tournament was this weekend, the Masters. And finally, after so many years of trying to win a major tournament, Sergio Garcia finally won one, and it was the biggest one. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he did that. It was a great final, 9 holes. He fought back. It was really great. If you're really into sports, it's nice to see him do that. And kind of on the flip side of that, Jordan Spieth actually, I don't know if anyone remembers, last year he had this complete fallout during the Masters last year, and he almost completely did it again. He recovered a little bit, but he pretty much did it at the end. Or he pretty much did it this year also. So that was kind of a letdown and disappointment. I feel bad for him. But I want to end with a really promising story, and I hope that it turns out to be as good as I think it will be. So I saw this segment on 60 Minutes, and it was about this 22-year-old Japanese player, and I'm completely going to butcher his name, but it's Sohei Otani. And he plays for a Japanese team. And he is being called, now of course, I've heard this before, but he's being called the next Babe Ruth. And if anybody knows anything about baseball, the reason he's being called Babe Ruth was one of the greatest hitters of all time. He was also a pitcher, and he was really good as a pitcher. So this 22-year-old in Japan is the best hitter in Japan. He's also the best pitcher in Japan. So, they showed some clips. Of course, they're not going to show any bad clips of him, but the clips they showed were really good. He's pretty good. He's got a fastball that's, over 102 miles an hour, which is amazing. And I guess his Japanese team is going to let him sign a contract to come and play for the Major League Baseball League next year. So at the end of this season, which basically just started, he will be coming over here, and it'll be interesting to see what team he goes to. And I'd like to think that he's going to do a good job. I think it'll be interesting to watch him. So that's going to do it, everybody. Thanks for summing up the news with me. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you're liking these news recaps. And we will see you on the next episode. See ya.